Hello and welcome to another video. In this one I'm going to be talking through with you how I built my little homemade camera rig. Now I was inspired really by Evan Monsma, who does all sorts of projects, and he was running a thing last month called No Money May, in which he built things using no additional funds. Now these advertising hoardings we recently had replaced at work, and I kept some of the old units and thought these would come in handy for future products. The material that we use for this is called dye bond sheeting, and it's basically a composite material made of two very thin sheets of aluminium with a plastic material in between them. It's very versatile, it's good to use for all sorts of projects, and it made the ideal material for making my little camera rig. So what I decided to do was to measure out a piece of this and make a template of the sort of shape and design that I wanted, and then I cut that out of the dye bond, as you will see in the following piece of footage. The template was made from cardboard just to get a rough idea of the sort of shape and size that I wanted, and I also had a 50 to 50mm filter ring adapter that I wanted to bond in the front so I could use filters on the front of my camera rig. So I initially cut out the shape that I wanted and cut a hole in the center for the filter ring to go in. As you can see, I just need to do some further shaping around here just to get the contour right. But this is going to form the basis of my little rig, and as you can see, it rather neatly holds a filter ring adapter. So the next step was to finally dress all this up and set about bonding in the filter ring adapter. The plan was to put this in with some PU sealant, some polyurethane sealant, because it would hold it in there nice and tightly. I've also sanded it down slightly so that I can get a decent finish for some paint to go on. I then had a search through to see what other materials I had that I can use. I wanted to put a handle on either side of it, and I also already had this phone bracket that I use, so I drilled a hole in the front so that could be mounted through the dye bond plate and securely hold this to the front of the camera mount. I needed some angled brackets. I didn't have any, but I did have this steel section which I cut off some parts and actually bent them over in the vise to give me some 90-degree right angle brackets. Opened up the holes a little to relieve them to accept the M6 threaded top that I have in these handle parts. These also were parts of a display unit that were being thrown away at work, and I never throw stuff away if it looks useful, so I held on to those. As you can see, it's got a tap in the bottom and a studded part at the top, so I thought this would come in very handy to make a couple of securing handles on the rig. So my brackets are in place there. Next I drilled and mounted those onto the dye bond part, and obviously then you can see I've fitted the handles. So this makes quite an inexpensive, cheap and easy rig. I've got the filter mount now mounted fully in there, and time to connect my phone to it and see how it looks. It's quite nice to hold on to. I may at a later date put some foam over these handles because it might be quite cold to use in the winter months. But yeah, it's quite easy to hold and operate and keep steady, which is fantastic. There we have it painted. I actually painted this with some paint I also had laying around, so I haven't even bought any paint for it. I've sprayed this actually with Schutz, which is like an underseal type paint that we use on vehicles because it's quite hard wearing, and also it was just knocking around anyway, so I didn't have to purchase any. As you can see, it gives it quite a decent finish as well. It's sort of a matte black look. And there it is, all together with a filter mounted on the front. And it's cost me absolutely nothing. Thanks for watching, guys. See you now. Bye-bye.